Okay, we can start now. I'm Ebenezer, your host for today. I would like to welcome everyone for today's virtual lecture session. Our today's lecture entitled Modeling Real Life Structure and Mechanism using CATIA and Recurdyn is going to be presented by Mr. Robert Asrasahen from Jambok National University. Our lecturer, Mr. Robert Asrasahen from this university under Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Department. This virtual lecture session is sponsored by East Africa Regional Office of Astronomy for Development. I think now, Robert, you can proceed and start today's lecture.
Okay, everyone, my name is Robert. This is me, just in case if you're wondering. So I'm going to proceed in English, I guess. Is everyone okay with that? Well, I guess everyone is okay with it.
Yeah, we're okay with it.
All right, everyone, thank you. Thank you for replying. My name is Robert Lassersign. You can also call me just Robert. I'm okay with both. So I'm a master's student at Jambok National University. Currently, I'm in my lab, so there is some noise in the background, so please bear with me. Please understand that. So my presentation is going to be about the CATIA and Recurdyn software. I'm pretty sure most of you here have heard about CATIA, and I'm pretty sure almost more than half of you are using CATIA on a daily basis. So I'm just wondering, I want to know how many of you have never used CATIA before? I just want to know that, because if I know that, then I will be able to give you a better class and a better lecture. So just in case, if there is anybody who has never used CATIA before, just raise your hand. Okay, I can see one hand right here, LK. Thank you for raising your hand. Anybody else? Okay. We have also Bethlehem Girma. Anyone else? And also, if you can turn on the video, that would be awesome, so that we can have a more intimate connection. So you can turn on the video if you want to, but it's not mandatory. Okay, we have 2 people here, and I think that's pretty much it. Anybody else? All right then, so how about the rest of you? Oh, okay, I see a lot of people here. We have Etia, we have Gedlu. Yeah, I think there's quite a lot of people who have never used CATIA before. And the other thing that I want to know is how many of you are studying at university or who have a bachelor's degree or master's degree. Is there anybody from high school or from preparatory school? Just raise your hand. Okay, I guess everybody has at least some experience in engineering field. That is good. That is good to hear. So the content of this presentation is mainly for people who have never used CATIA before, but at the same time, at some points, I will include some contents for those who are intermediate or advanced users in CATIA. And here I will also introduce a new software. It's called Recurdyn. It's made in South Korea, where I live now, and my lab is actually specializes in this software. It's called Recurdyn. Well, first, let me share my screen. Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So this is going to be my presentation, as you can see. And this software, the Recurdyn software, is multi-body dynamic software. It's mainly used for moving objects or to model, let's say, cars or airplanes or anything that moves can be modeled in Recurdyn. And the CATIA is basically 3D software. And I'm going to go over the timeline for this tutorial. in the first day, the first time, we'll start with the introduction to CATIA software, and then we'll perform some basic exercises in different modules. And then on February 9th, we'll continue our class and then learn more advanced modules. And maybe in March, we'll start Recurdyn, because Recurdyn is a little bit complicated, and I think you first have to know how to use the CATIA software before studying the Recurdyn software. So where to start? So for those who have never used CATIA before, there are so many online resources that you can learn from YouTube, from Udemy, Coursera. I mean, there are millions and billions of online resources that you can check. And probably some of my favorite ones are the complete CATIA V5 exercise training that you can find in the Udemy website. And there are also some good YouTube channels, especially the CAD/CAM tutorial website is a really good place to start. Another place is the CATIA tutorials website. And finally, there's also another channel on YouTube that you can check. And I'm pretty sure you can find by yourself. So it's open. I mean, you can start anywhere. The most important thing is developing the skills. Once you have the skills, then you can go on to study more advanced topics. So as I mentioned earlier, CATIA is a computer-aided 3D interactive application. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. You see this word, CATIA. When you expand it, when you expand this word, that's what it means. Computer-aided 3-dimensional interactive application. So here it says computer. That means we're going to work on computer and computer aided basically. And it's 3D dimensional means we are working on a 3D material. We can also work on a 2D and 1D material, but any real life structure can be modeled using a 3D dimensional, 3D dimension. So that's what it means. And interactive means is you can be able to adjust every single detail, and you can manipulate everything with ease. That's what it means. And it was first started in 1977 in France. And this is the most complete 3D modeling software. And it's very essential for any mechanical or any aerospace engineer or engineers in general should learn and should know the basics of this software. And it has so many modules that you can learn from, that you can study. I'm gonna try to explain some of the basic modules here, and also for advanced learners, maybe on the next lecture, I could spend maybe like 30 minutes or more to kind of give you a brief introduction to the other modules. So the other software that I was talking to you about is the Recurdyn software. You can find the software on the internet. Basically, all you have to do is go on the internet and just type this word. Just type Recurdyn, and once you type this word, there will be a lot of online accesses that you can check from, especially the official website. The official website is called Function Bay, and if you join or if you click on this website, then .ac.kr, then you will be able to find guidelines on how to download the software. And for those who don't have the CATIA software, because today's lecture will be on CATIA, there are so many online resources that you can check. So I'm pretty sure the SSTI staff have the software, so you can ask them or go to torrents. Please don't tell that I've told you that. Just you can find it anywhere. So with that in mind, let's now go on to the software. Close all of this first. This is the CATIA GUI, or the graphic user interface. Everybody, are you following me? I feel like I'm the only one talking. Everybody, are you listening? Can you confirm, please? Hello? Hello?
እየሰማን ነው።
All right, so after we Now that I've confirmed that, so let's go to the interface. How do I move this thing? So this is basically the interface that I was mentioning earlier. So here we see the start, file, edit, view, insert, tool, so many different options. But whenever you want to start a new document in CATIA, there are two ways that you can do it. The first way is you click start, you click file, and then you click new. And then here you will see a new window will open. This box will open and you go to part, or you can just search part and you find it here. Once you find that, you just click OK. And then it will ask you to name the part. You can just start with part 1, or you can give it any name that you like. And then here, there are some options that you see here. The first one is the enable hybrid design. In any case, please keep this one always checked. It should always be checked. And the other option is the create geometrical set. I also recommend you to check to make sure that this one is also checked. And the third one is the create an order geometrical set. Please don't use this one for now. And also do not click this one and then just click OK. So now you have done your first job. So for those who have never used CATIA, this is the first step. You should feel really happy. This is like the hello world moment in Python. So once you go here, this is the interface for the part design. As I told you earlier, the CATIA software has so many modules that you can work on. If you click the start button, there are so many modules as you can see here. For instance, you have the infrastructure, mechanical design, shape, and so many other options. Because this is a professional software. I mean, people in very top companies use this software. So obviously, it's going to have a lot of options that you can work on. But for now, as a beginner, the main modules that you need to know are the part design and the structural design, wireframe and surface design, assembly design, and the generative shape design. And every single beginner in the software always starts with the part design, okay? And when you click the part design, as we showed earlier, then everything will change to this module like this. When you click this, the module will change. I'm sorry, we are already in the part design, but let's say you click the structural design. Let's say you click the generative shape design, and when you click another module, these things will change. You see over here, these things there will be different kinds of shapes and different functions. So let's say you choose wireframe and surface design. When you choose the wireframe and surface design, you will also have another functions like this and like this. So basically, whenever you change a module, you will have a different functions. That's what it means. Now let's go back to the part design module. So when you begin any kind of modeling, the first thing that you need is you obviously need to make some drawing, right? So if you want to make a drawing, you click this button right here, and after you click the button, you select a plane, maybe this plane, for instance. And when you click the plane, it will automatically take you to that plane, and now you can create some drawings. For instance, let's say I want to create some circle like this, and if you want to delete any kind of drawing, all you have to do is press the delete button on your keyboard. Another important thing that I need to mention is how do I manipulate, or how do I move within the CATIA, right? You have to know that. And in order to do that, you see on your mouse, there is a left button and the right button. And also in the middle, there is a scroll button, right? So if you want to move around, all you have to do is just move the mouse itself. And if you want to, for instance, move up and down, you press the cursor. When you press the cursor, as you can see here, it will move up and down. And another thing is, if you want to rotate, if you want to make a rotation, you press the middle button, and then you also press the right button. How do I put it? The right? Yeah, the right button. I don't know. Basically, you press both of them together, and you just do like this. So This is how you move within the CATIA. And if you want to know more about how to do that, you can always go on Google or YouTube and find out about it. So, and if you want to go back to how it was before, you see this button right here, the I button. This is called the normal view. You press it and then it will take you back to that normal view, meaning you will have a perpendicular view to the screen. That's basically what it means. So like I mentioned earlier, the first step is what? To make a simple rectangle. And then once you make the rectangle, you see the colors will change, right? This color is what? Green. This color is green, but this and this color are white colors, right? So what does it mean basically, right? So this means this and this line need to be constrained. What does constraining mean? Well, constraining means you have to, so basically this place, the XY, the YZ, and the Z explains, they are called reference elements. Reference elements are places where you start drawing, or for instance, if you have a rectangle, how far is it from the plane? Or I don't know, basically, if you want to know like how far it is or how long it is, you can't just be drawing a circle right here and a circle over there and a circle over there, right? You need some reference element. So in this case, the XY, the YZ, and the Z explains are our surface elements or reference elements. So in order to constrain an element, all you have to do is, you see this button right here? You see this button? So when you click this button will turn into an orange color. And then you press this, and then you move it like this. So now when you do that, what happened? This one, I'm sorry, this one and this one and this one, they all turned into a green color. But there is still one more dimensioning that we need to do, because this one is still white, right? So if you want to change this to a green, you click the constraint function here again, and then you click this one, and then you click another line. When you click another line, it will automatically give you the dimension like this. But let's say we want to change these dimensions, right? So now let's say it's 0.08498 and 0.12901, right? But let's say I want to make this, let's say 1.5. If I want to do that, what I have to do is just double click on the number, and then I just type in it's 1.5. And then it will be like this. And one thing that I forgot to mention is like if you want to scale the drawing or the field into a smaller or a bigger size, all you have to do is press the middle button, and then after you press the middle button, and then you just click the right what is it called, the left and the right buttons. I get kind of confused all the time about this, but basically you press the middle button and then you click the right one and then just move it like this. So it's really important that you understand how to manipulate or how to move within the CATIA, because if you understand how to use the small and easy systems or manipulation tools, then you can have an easier time. It's like speaking a language, for instance. When you're speaking a language, you don't just start speaking the language fluently, right? You have to learn the letters, how to use a word, how to use a sentence, and stuff like that. So just getting back to my point, basically, you also double click this button, and then let's put it like 1.2. So this is how you dimension within the CATIA module. And if you see here, the SI unit is meters, right? And let's say I want to change this meter into millimeter, or I want to change the measurement system into another measurement system, right? So if you want to do that, you have to go to the tools button, click the options. When you click the options, then it will bring you to this window. And then within this window, you go to the general tab. And then within the general tab, you'll see the parameter and measurement tab. And then you click it. And then here you will see so many windows, right? Don't go into, don't bother yourself with the definitions of each. Just all you have to do is go to the basically the most important thing that we need is the measurement, right? Measurement. Sorry. Yeah, basically all you have to do is go back to, let's say, just give me a second. Yeah, you click this button and you see this the scales and the units tab, right? You see this? There's knowledge, scales, units, and then other different tabs, right? All we need is the units, okay? Like always remember that. I also get kind of confused sometimes because don't stress yourself with what it means, like what does each one mean and stuff like that, because it's a process, so you learn everything step by step. So just learn one thing at a time and then memorize it. Then in another day you will learn about another tool, for instance. So you go to the units tab, and then here you see the lengths. Here it's chosen as meters, right? You click the meters, and then you go down here, and then you click, for instance, let's say millimeters, right? If you click the millimeters and if you press OK, all the measurements now are in the millimeter, not in meters. So you have to know that. And another thing is the CATIA software doesn't care whether you use an inch or a meter or a millimeter, as long as you keep the SI unit consistent throughout your modeling, basically. For instance, if you keep this one as 1200 meters and this, let's say this one 15 millimeters, then you're gonna have a big problem. So make sure to use an identical measurement unit, basically. But for now, I'm just gonna go back to the options unit and just keep it as meters. So, all right, so getting back to what I was saying, after you make this small rectangle, you go out, okay? You go out, and then when you go out, you see these buttons right here? If you bring them down, these are called sketch-based features. What does sketch-based feature mean? Sketch-based feature basically means it's based on a sketch that you made, okay? So if you have a sketch, then you can be able to make another kind of modeling mechanisms. So basically, you have to know that sketch-based means it's based on a sketch. So you have to make the sketch first. If you don't have a sketch, then these buttons will turn to gray, like this one, this one, this one, this one. This means they need a different kind of material to work on. And I will show you how to use each one of them later on. So we click the pad, sorry. So you click the pad, and then you press OK. Don't worry about the warning sign earlier. And then you just, when you see this, you see now there is some kind of double line, right? Now let's say I want to increase this, right? So if I increase this, you see it's getting bigger and bigger, right? So if I press preview, you will have a solid model. So you should feel really proud, because this is the very first step in modeling or in learning any 3D modeling software. So the first step is you have to know how to make small box in the part design module in CATIA. All right, so I spent a lot of time explaining about this. I'm sorry for those who are advanced or intermediate users, but this is very important for the people who have never used CATIA, so I have to explain this in detail. All right, so going to another important lesson. Now let's say I want to make a drawing on this surface or this surface or this surface. Let's say I want to make a drawing on this surface, right? So I choose the surface, I press this button, and then when I press this button, it will automatically take me to this kind of sketching system. And then you press the circle, you make some kind of small drawing like this, and then see it right here. So when you make something like this, it will appear like this, and then we have to dimension it, right? So click this button, press this, and you will give the dimension. It says 0.5. So you give the dimension like this. It's very important to know that. And then you go out, and then when you go out, you will see this circle in red color, and then you press the pad again. And when you press the pad again, you will see another extruding element. Then if you press preview, you will see structure like this. So this is how you make sketch-based features. All right, so now I have mentioned this very basic and key important thing. Now let's work on some example. Okay, I have prepared some examples, very basic examples to some little advanced examples. So let me share the screen first. So as you can see right here, this is our first example. Okay, we're gonna make E later in the sketch-based feature. Okay, so how do I make this? That's the let's an E later. So let's say we choose the YZ plane. You press the YZ plane and then you press the sketch feature. And if you don't see anything on the screen, just press the fifth button, okay? And then it will automatically take you back to the screen like this. And then this is called a profile sketch. The profile sketch is basically a continuous line that you can make. Let's say I'm going to start. Let's see if we have. Blue, it means it's a vertical line. And say white line, right? But as soon as I go to the horizontal line, it will be automatically buttons over here, and then make sure that this button, especially the geometrical constraint button, is turned on. If it is turned on, it will be orange color. If it's not, then it will be like this. So now let's say if I want to make some kind of drawing, it's going to be very difficult. Like you have to make sure these buttons are always turned on, these two buttons and also these buttons. All right, let's make like this and then like this and drawing like this, this, sorry, this one more time. This. Why did I do like this? I want to show you some constraints that you can do in case whenever you make some kind of inverted line. Whenever a line is constrained, you will see an H sign or V sign or some circle sign like O. When, for instance, if it is H, it means it's horizontal. If it's V, it means it's vertical. If it is a center line, it means two lines will the constraint button, and then you press the horizontal line button, and then horizontal. And in case if you want to do multiple lines together, you press the control button, and then you click like this. In this case, should be deleted. So now this line and this line are not vertically constrained anymore. So if you want to constrain them, you press the control button, press this, and then press this, and then you press the constraint button, and then you just press the vertical line like this. So they will all be the vertical line. And also this button, this line is also not vertical. So we just click this and click another over here, and then you just press the horizontal line, and then it will be horizontal line like this. So the next step is what? We have to dimension it. So in dimensioning, there are two things that you need to remember. The first thing is whenever you click this line, this symbol right here, and then you press a line, it will give you the exact value like this. But if you want to go back, then you would have to, if you want to dimension another line, for instance, like this line or this line, then you can't do it instantly. If you want to do it instantly, just double click on this icon like this. So when you double click on it, you just do it like this. Just press like this. It will automatically do it like this for you. Okay, so like this, like this. Obviously, there is also a reason why I'm doing all this dimensioning. But in any case, please do not dimension this much. It's too much. Okay. So we do like this, and see what I've been telling you. whenever I just did this, the colors, everything turned to pink, right? What does pink mean? Okay, if it turns to pink, it means there is an over constraint. Over constraint means a line has two dimensions, but in any case that doesn't work, right? So you want to make sure that this doesn't happen. If it happens, just press the escape key, okay, and then everything will be back to normal. But we also need to dimension it horizontally, so just double click again here, press this button, and then press this line, and then press like this. So it's still showing a pink line, right? So whenever this happens, just click the line that you click I'm sorry, press the escape button first, then click the dimension that you made, then press delete, okay? And then for instance here, just press delete, press delete, press delete. And I will tell you a little bit about the dimensioning procedure, okay? The first thing that you need to dimension is the longest edge. In this case, the longest edge is what? This line, right? So just we keep this one, and then we just dimension it as 100, okay? So now it's 100, and then we'll go to the next longest line. In this case, this will be the horizontal line will be the longest line. So we just press it like this. I'm sorry, we'll press, if you want a dimension from a point to point, press the point, press another point while holding the control button, and then you just dimension it like this. And then this dimension will be 50. And so the next step is to dimension the vertical lines over here. So we just double click here. So we press, let's say we press, let's start from the bottom, okay? This will be, we press like this, press a line like this, and then press this line. And then we just press this line. And everything is 20. And one thing I forgot to tell you is you have to make sure whenever this happens, this means that you're dimensioning the points, and you have to make sure that the line is horizontal, right? So if this happens, just press the escape key, click this, delete this, and just control plus Z, and then just take this out a little bit. Okay, and see this line is not dimension. This one has to be what? Vertical, right? So we have to make sure that it's vertical. Okay, and then 20. Now it's vertical. Now we have no problem. Same here, 20. That's 30. This distance from this point up to this point. So let's do that. We press this line and this line. Sorry, we press while holding the control key. Okay, and then we just we press like this, and let's say this is 25. Okay. Right? 25. And what else? And yeah, so we made the first element like this, right? This is E. So all the lines are green. So this means there is some missing dimension that we need to do, right? So we have to do that. So here, this is 20, and yeah, so sorry, make sure that the dimensions are all turning green, okay? So maybe right now it takes a little bit time because you can just keep it like this. But whenever you're doing some kind of design for your thesis or something, make sure that all the dimensions are turning green. So after you do that, give it, let's say 1, and then we just preview. So if you see it like this, it will be turning into like this. Okay, so this is the first exercise that we did. Now this time we're gonna do a little bit complicated exercise, but I think you'll get the hang of it. So I'm gonna open another PDF file. Working on. So this will be the next PDF file, the next model that we are working on. So this is the final outcome that we need, and these are the side views. Just remove all of this. So first we select the please try to choose the side that's much easier, or that has the easiest way to dimension every single element. In this case, I'm gonna choose the side view. So to do that, I'll just choose let's say the YZ plane, and then I press the sketch button. This make a vertical line, horizontal line like this, and then make a vertical line. So as you see, it's turning green. Then another line like this, like this, like this, this. One more, a couple more, and like this. Yeah, after we do that, we will go to the dimension tool, and so first we have to double click the dimension tool, and we will select from this point up to this point. This will be how much? This will be 80. Okay, this will be 80. In case something like this happens to you, just move it to the side like this, and just let me go back to what I was doing earlier. Let's make it again. Okay, like this. Yes. Okay. And then we double click the dimension tool, press this line, and we give the dimensions to all the elements that we are told to give dimension to, right? So this will be 60. Let's keep it. Let's just keep it as one. Let's say 1,800. Let's say, for instance, and this distance will be 450. Okay, and this distance will be. We double click on it. Okay, we double click on it, and 550. Make sure that you're doing that just like what I'm doing right now. And let's say this is also 450. Oh, sorry, this one is 450. And also from this line up to this line, this distance. Oh, sorry, this will be to delete this. First, we have to press the escape button. Delete this. See, this one is not horizontal line, so we have to make sure that it's a vertical line. Okay, we do like this, and then we press this, double click on it, press this, and press this, and then let's say this is 2,500 or something like this, and then we still see some undimensioned elements, right? So how can we dimension those? We have to dimension the distance from this line to this line like this, and then from this line to this line like this. So you see now the vertical lines are now dimensioned, and probably the only thing remaining is the distance from this point up to this point. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing remaining. And then we give similar dimensions, 450, and this one is also, let's say, 550. This one is let's say 600. So maybe 600 is too much. Maybe like 450. So after you make something like this, you go out, and then when you go out, press the F5 button, and then you press this button, okay, and then you press preview. When you press preview, it will show you how much it's going to be extruded. Let's say we want to extrude it for 100 meters, and we'll see something like this. And if you want to increase it, just press this button like this. Maybe let's say we put it 200. Maybe 200 is even smaller, right? Let's just so something like this. You can make a structure something like this. All right, so after we make this, maybe, by the way, guys, are you following me? Do you have any questions? I'm just speaking to myself. I feel like it's been a long time since I've given any kind of lecture. So do you guys have any questions that you want to ask me?
Robert, there is a question and answer session, so you can continue now.
Okay, sorry. So just be with me, guys. It's been a long time since I've given any kind of lecture, so understand that. So basically, this is how you make any kind of drawing, okay? I'm gonna give you another example. So I'm gonna go to maybe another example. Let's say I want to draw, let's say I want to draw a circle, and I want to make, I want to rotate it along some vertical axis, right? Delete everything here. Select the YZ plane, and then press the sketch button. Now let's say I want to make some spline, okay? Spline is basically a line, but with more options for curvature or something. I'm sorry, just give me some time. Let's wait for the program to respond. Yeah, sometimes my CATIA just breaks down, so. Yeah, basically, what I was trying to do is I wanted to make some shaft structure. Let's first open CATIA module. So that's what's opening right now. Just give it some time. So you will see this interface. So as I mentioned earlier, whenever you want to open structure, a new part material, go to part, press OK. Then you just give it some name. This is TI tutorial 1. And make sure that this work checked in. Press OK. And I guess let's wait. So you will have this. And now let's say we select the YZ plane, and press the sketch button. So we press the sketch button. The spline tool, and we select the spline tool, and we make some drawing like this. Okay. Now, probably one thing that I need to mention is, so if I make some kind of drawing like this, we have to make sure that this line can intersect with the vertical line. It has to intersect, or in other words, it must be a closed line. Okay. So let's say we constrain it. we press this point, and then we press the vertical line. We press the constraint like this, and then coincidence. Similarly, we do the same thing for the bottom, like this and this. Coincidence. So we have made coincidence line. Now, if you go out, okay. Now let's say you go out and you want to make you see this button right here. This is called the shaft button. So you press the shaft button, and you get this warning. Just forget about it, and then it will there will be some kind of window like this. So this is the first angle, the second angle, and then this is the profile that we are gonna rotate. So for this, we just select this one, and then the axis. So for the axis, we select this vertical line like this, and then if you press preview, you see what you're gonna get. We're gonna get a structure like this. Okay, you can make a structure like this. But now let's go back to the sketch. What if the structure and by the way, whenever you make a drawing or whenever you make a part, you can check the details over here. Okay, since now we have made a shaft, the shaft will appear right here. Since we have done a sketch before the shaft, the sketch will appear right here. So you can hide or unhide any material, any modeling part, modeling element in CATIA by pressing the element itself and then just press the hide button like this. So going back to the sketch, you see this constraint. What if we remove this constraint? Okay, I wanna show you something. So if we remove the constraint and if you go out and let's say let's press the fit button right here, and then we have to obviously show the material. And sorry, just give me some time. So let's make another, for instance, this. As you can see, this line is not constrained to the vertical axis, right? So we go out like this, and so we go out like this, and now let's say we want to use the shaft tool, right? So the selection is which profile. It asks you which profile that we're gonna rotate. We press this, press OK. I'll just click the right click button and just select the Z axis, and then you will get this kind of message. So what is the problem, right? Why can't we rotate it along the vertical axis? The problem is because this line is not constrained to the vertical line, and in part design you have to make sure that there is an axis of rotation. So how can you solve this kind of problem? You go back to the sketch. So the first thing that you can do is you add an axis. Okay, you press this. This is called the axis. And then you just click this button, and then you click this button. Now it's a closed body. So since this is a closed body, show up in our final modeling because it's for referencing purposes that we use it most of the time. So after you do that, now you can just select this button, just press yes, and then press the selection, the rotation axis. Then I'm sorry, we have to select the rotation axis for this one, okay? And let's maybe go back and add another axis over this line. Yeah, so we can do something like this. And another thing is when the tools button, and there is a sketch analysis icon right here. The purpose of the sketch analysis is to show you whether a drawing that you have made is an open drawing or a closed drawing. For instance, this is our spline, and this is our second spline. So and if you want to make sure that it is closed, you can just press this button. Now it's closed. And if you choose, for instance, this one and press this button, now you can close it. See, this is what happens. This is what you can do. And this is one way to kind of make a very complicated structure and you don't know whether that structure is fully closed or not, this is what you should do. Go to tools, go to the sketch analysis, and then to show whether it's open or closed. So you go out like this, and now you can rotate it out along the vertical axis. Something like this. Something like this. But as you can see, the structure, it's a full, it's a closed structure. It's not opened in the middle. So what if I want to make a structure that has some hole in the middle? Then in order to do okay, and I want to show you how to make a shell element. It's called a shell element. We press the sketch. Let's say we delete everything, and now let's make some. Let's say we make some. So we go out. We let's say we extrude the element. When we extrude the element, and if we let's just make it a little bit, not that much, maybe 0.4 is enough. So if you press this element, it's a full solid body. But what if we want to make some shell element, right? So to do that, go back to the pad. Click on it, it will expand like this, and it will give you the thickness, the first thickness and the second thickness. Maybe let's increase this one to 0.1, and then if you make it to 0.1, this basically means the thickness inside and the thickness outside. Okay. Maybe you cannot see it clearly. So let's hello. Are you all listening to me?
We are listening to you, Robert. Continue.
Okay. And every line is constrained with each other and also with the planes. Okay, the XY plane, the YZ plane, and the ZX plane. So after we do this, another thing that we should do is let's make this one. Let's go to the dimensioning and make like this line and this line symmetric about the horizontal line. Okay, we're gonna make symmetry. And then every after we go out, you press this button. Okay, this is called a pocket tool. When you press the pocket tool, it will show you in hidden lines the amount of pocketing that's gonna do. So if you press the preview element, this is what's gonna happen. So here there's different types of pocketing. You can give an exact dimensional methods. These are more advanced, and I would probably, as a beginner, I would just focus on understanding the dimensional method first. Okay, so this is how you can make a pocketing element in the part design module. All right, so after we do that, now I wanna show you some other important tools, probably from the beginner level. Let's say I made some in the YZ plane. Let's say I press this button and I made a structure like this. Okay, I go out. Just for the sake of this example, I'm just going out without dimensioning, but please make sure that all your lines are dimensioned. So you make a structure like this, right? So now let's say I want to make structure that goes. You press this face, you press this sketch button, and then so you need a line, right? You want to make sure that the line is perfectly aligned to the surface. How do you do that? To do that, you press the project 3D element. Okay, you project the 3D element, and it will ask you which element to project. So just press this line, and then just press OK. Okay, when you press this line, you will see a yellow colored line right here. This means this structure has been projected. And also, it's a good idea, in most cases, to make it a sketch-based feature. To do that, to make it a construction line, basically. If you want to make it any line into a construction line, just select the line and then press this construction line element, and then it will turn into construction line. Maybe it's not, you cannot see it properly. I'm gonna hide that structure. So this is what it means basically. And if you want to turn it into a solid line, just unselect this, and then it will be back to this. Now I want to make a like this. Sorry, let's make a circle with 3-point arc. This is the first point. This is the second point. And maybe let's make this. Let's make a. Let's rather use a circle. Okay, just make a draw a circle right there. The best trick that I know is, especially in making complicated drawings, it's a good idea to just draw that very basic drawing outside, and then make the constraining later. So just like what I'm doing right now. After I make this circle, the next step that I'm going to do is I want to make sure that they have to be coincident. So I press the coincidence button like this. And then another thing that I need to do is I want to make sure this point and this line are coincident. Press OK. And another are coincident. Okay, coincident. Okay, this is what you should do. So after you make this, you want to make, as I mentioned earlier, you press this line and you can turn it into, of course, kind of part all the circle, but let's say I just want the top part, and if I want to extrude the top part only, I have to remove the bottom part, right? So how do I do that? You go here, press the quick trim, you select the elements like this, and then it will automatically be deleted, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we have to make sure that this drawing is fully constrained, right? How do I check whether it's fully constrained or not? You press this button right here, or you go to Windows, you go to Tools, go to Sketch Analysis. The Sketch Analysis, you'll see that it's open, right? This line back into a normal solid line. So what if I did something like this? Let's check now. See, now it's closed, okay? Because of this is why it's important to always use the sketch analysis tool. It will save you a lot of time, and but you just press the pad, okay? Press the pad, and then you have to make sure that, let's say now it's going this way, right? The limit 1 and the limit 2, what does it mean, right? So first, the limit 2 means it's going this way, and the limit 1 means it's going that way. But for now, we just have to care about the limit 2. So we have to change it into the other direction. How do we do that? We just press this button, and then we press preview, and then it will show you also, as you can see here, we have to press the more button, because the elements right here, it's going from this line up to, it was supposed to go from this line up to this line, right? But now it's starting from this point up to this point. So we have to make sure that first select the element. I'm sorry, it's not the reverse direction. Okay, we press this reverse direction. So I want to clarify something here. What is the difference between the mirror and the reverse direction? Okay, I'm sorry, I think I messed up a little bit right here. First, the mirror extent means there is, let's say this is the middle part, right? And now I want to pad this element. If I pad it to that side, it will just go like this. And now if you press preview, this is gonna happen like this. If I press mirror, it's gonna extrude in both. Let's not select this one, and now let's select the reverse direction. If I press the reverse direction, it's gonna go the other way. And if I press preview, for instance, this is what it's gonna happen. Okay? So this is how you make structure like this. The rib. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this. Now I press the isometric view to get to the isometric view basically. And now let's say let's first make a plane. Okay, so elements, they are very, very important. Whenever you want to make a drawing, you either use a plane or a point or a line. So in this case, I want to show you one last thing. Let's say I select the YZ plane, and then I press the type of plane that you want. For instance, I want a plane that's offset from some common plane, let's say from the YZ plane, at a distance of, let's say, 1 meter, right? So it will create a plane for you at a distance of 1.0 meters, okay? And then if you press the repeat button, the repeat button up here, and then press OK, it will create another object, another window for you. And then you can create, let's say, 3, and then you press OK. So now you have created how many planes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planes. This is how you create planes. And then now let's say, let's select each plane and make a drawing on it. Okay, I'm gonna select this plane. Circle. Okay, then I'm gonna go out like this, and then I'm gonna select this one, press the sketch button, and let's say I'll make another, maybe something like this. Go out. Maybe select this one. Let's say whenever you have something like this, press this button right here. It's called the fit all in button. And let's say I have another structure like this. And what else? Yeah, let's say we have this much. Okay, and maybe do the same thing here. Make another circle like this. On the last plane, let's make like this. Okay, now we have made how many circles? These are different circles, but each of them are located at a different plane. Okay, and now let's say I want to create some structure, and then you want to use this multi-section. The multi-section will create some kind of I select the multi-section, and now we select the sketch that we want. So here we select this right here, select this one, and then finally this one. Okay, so we have selected all of this, and for now we don't have a guide curve, but we can make a guide curve. I'll show you how to make a guide curve a little bit later. But here, what I really want to stress out is, you see these two things, the closing point and the section 1 kind of markers right here. Especially the closing point, make sure that they are directed into the same direction. For instance, here the closing point is going this way, closing point 2 is going this way, it's going this way, it's going this way. Everything is going this way. Make sure that they are all going in the same direction. It's very important. Let's say press preview. It's going to take some time. Just give me some time. How you can make, but maybe this could be a little bit complicated. But in the case, what if we have, instead of a circle here, a circle there, what if we have a different material here, or a different kind of sketch? Let's say this, maybe let's go down here and press this and change this one into, double click on it. And then now, instead of having a circle, let's say we have something like this, and then let's go out. See, now we have different kind of shape, right? Different, like this one, this, they are different shapes, right? So how do you make a maybe control this, this, and this. Now you see the closing point is now the hexagon is located over here. You want to make sure that it's somehow closer to the other closing points. So to do that, just press this one and click the right button, and then replace it here, and then maybe you can bring it here, for instance, and then just replace closing point. Add closing point. See over here, press this, you remove say now we preview it. And now let's say we preview. You see now there is a problem, okay? Because whenever you have a structure like this, you have to make some coupling, okay? Maybe this is a little complicated concept, because you have to make sure that all the points are in the same plane, or in the same point. Maybe this could be a little complicated. Maybe I can show you with an easier drawing. Let's say we have, instead of 5, just remove these 2. Plane 2, let's remove it. And this one. And let's say we have a just delete this. And in this circle, it's a horizontal line. Like this, okay? We go out, press this one, press this. Let's make another centered line. This, okay? here, press the fit all in. Press this, and then we go out. You press this, solutionally press this and this. Okay. So what you should do, and then the closing points are on the same point. But if you want to make a coupling, let's say since we have a vertex right here, we can use tangency with curvature of the vertex for the section coupling, or we can also use ratio. So if we use the ratio, for instance, we can couple this point. We click first here and then click add, and then we press this point, and this point. Okay. Wait, maybe this one, this point, and this point. Okay. And another, we can also add another coupling, but for now I think this is enough. But if you want to add another coupling, you can just press like this, and this point and this point. Okay. So we have made some coupling. Okay. And then we just press preview, and now you see the structure. This is the purpose of using a coupling tool. It's very important, especially if you're making this kind of multi-section drawings. An introductory level course, but I think maybe this is more than enough for today. Probably in the next lectures, I can go to more detailed structures. Maybe I can show you how I made the JWC satellite. For instance, I can show you the picture of the one that I make. So basically, the structure that I made is looks. Just give me some time. Sometimes it's loading. It's a big file, so I can show you how this structure is made. But in order to be able to make this kind of structure, you really have to know the things that I was talking about earlier. If you want to make a structure like this, you have to understand the meaning of reference elements, especially how to use lines, how to use planes, and how to use the points properly. You have to understand that, and I think with that in mind, probably in the next tutorial, if you guys are interested, I can show you how this structure was made.
Question, raise your hand, and Robert will give a chance for your questions, and he will react on them. The session for question and answer is begun.
ጥያቄ ሌክቸሩ ላይ ሳይሆን ላይክ ዌብሳይቱን ማግኘት የምንችልበትን
Okay, so maybe let me share my screen. You see my screen?
Yeah.
So for the የትኛውን መክፈል ለካቲያ ወይስ ለሪከርድ?
Yeah, Katia.
So for the CATIA, I think the best solution in my perspective is to ask your professors እዛ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ያሉት ፕሮፌሰሮች ነው። If you happen not to have any material, I will show you some. Maybe I can probably send it to Nati, or maybe I can send it to Nati or Ebenezer with the link, and then you can just follow that link and it will give you all the materials. It's a big file, but access to college, you can download it from there. But if I were you, maybe I can. The one the site might just go to Kiosk Learn or something. Like in the website, you can find it easily. Go to Torrent website. በቶረንት ዳውንሎድ ማድረግ ይቻል ይመስለኛል ካልተሳሳትኩ ረጅም ጊዜ እንትን ማድረግ ከፈለግሽ ብለሽ ዩቲዩብ ላይ ራሱ ገብተሽ it will give you በደንብ maybe this video they also have a link for it. Just follow the video, okay? In video follow argut, and then it will tell you like exactly what you should do. I will you're welcome.
Okay, is there anyone else who have a question?
Yeah, and for Recurdyn everything is on YouTube. All you have to do is just practice it regularly. Research Recurdyn. You can find this is where ማንኛውም ሰው ሲጀምር ሪከርዳይን መጠቀም ሲጀምር ከዚህ ነው የሚጀምረው and ይሄኛውም ለቤዘል ኬታ ነው so you can start from that. Yeah, anyways that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you.
Okay, so if there is no question, then I can just have received the materials and you can get from me or Nati. So let me end by saying thank you for Mr. Robel for this excellent lecture, and for all participants, thank you for being here with us today. So this is all for today. Thank you.